Okay, I'd like to open up the Budget Committee's public hearing on the Budget Committee's recommended schools operating budget with a roll call, please.
Betsy Colburn. Barbie Hartford.
Tom Chase.
Dan McNally.
Bernie Brown.
Dave Ruth.
Hal Kreider.
Mike Moore.
Brian Winslow.
It wasn't you.
Rick Wolf.
And Ginger Dole. Okay, first order of business, we do need to go back.
Do we need to state for the minutes?
Oh, yeah. For the minutes, excused this evening are Brad Hall, Betty Smith, John Boudreau. I have not heard anything from Joe, and I expect Bob will be here, but just running a little late. He said last night he'd be here, so he'll probably join us shortly. He's just walking in now, so.
Does that make fun of his height?
I'm sorry?
Don't make fun of his height.
I'm not making fun.
Just said Bob will be here in a minute, you walked in the door.
When you walk through the door.
Just psychic they are. All right, we already got yesterday's.
Okay. So, first order of business, we need to go back to the minutes from December 9th. You've got copies in front of you for those clarifications that we asked for last night. The voting designation is now there.
Make a motion to approve the December 9th, 2017 budget meeting minutes as amended. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Were there any further corrections? I think those were the only ones we discussed last night. Everybody okay with the way they are?
No.
It
Sorry.
looks a little vague.
I would have to go back and look at the tape, and I apologize I didn't, but it says the art supplies have increased. Why? Notes that this includes social studies supplies as well as reading specialist classroom workbooks. I'm 90% sure that that is not what Ms. Young said. Again, I'd have to go back and look at the tape, but it had nothing to do with social studies supplies and, you know, workbooks for.
Okay, so who made the motion in the second?
Do I have to withdraw it?
We'll do the same thing that we did last night. Withdraw them.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Remember, we're going to be meeting again on the 24th so that we can review the minutes.
The second time I've withdrawn it.
I know. Hang in there. 3 times is a charm. 3 times.
Yeah, but you'll be in the notes. It's just like getting a foul in basketball.
Right.
I know. All you do is withdraw stuff.
Susan, excuse me,
Yes.
did you do the revision? So
No.
you didn't hear the discussion last night about the issue Barbie raised about how that paragraph doesn't capture the response of the principal to the question. So whether you or Dolores does the rewrite,
Let's get them to do it.
So,
gotta find the right place on the tape.
From her.
well, I was wondering whether or not she was going to have time before she left to get them done. So we'll hold these, wait for the amended, the final amendment, hopefully, on that particular line, and we'll do those on the 24th. You'll notice that you also received the minutes from last evening. Obviously, we've not had time to review them, so please go through them between now and the 24th, and we'll address them on the 24th.
Okay.
7.
7.
Yeah.
will we get the minutes for tonight's meeting in advance of the 24th, do you
During the
think?
packet.
No, for tonight's.
Oh, tonight's, I'm sorry. What you got tonight? You gonna read these tonight's?
Yeah,
Because we're going to do both.
well,
You
the
are really good. You
24th,
got us tonight's minutes before we even did
Told
them.
that we won't receive it
we never know
in
something.
Right.
advance of,
Because you're going to be going
as
on
we walk
vacation.
out the door.
It's easier that way. That way you don't have to worry about being
So-
correct.
Okay, so yes, once those are ready. Correct, for tonight, because we haven't had time to read the ones from last night. And we need the clarification on December 9th. It's at the bottom of page 1, so you know which section we're talking about. It's Department 5610. Terrific. Thank you. Okay, so we'll open the public portion of our hearing tonight. You've got a copy of the warrant articles, just as we did last night. Looking at article number 3 first, we'll leave the operating budget for last. To see if the Northwood School District will vote to raise and appropriate up to $10,000 to be placed in the Building Capital Improvement Capital Reserve Fund for the purpose of financing any and all capital improvements to school buildings, as well as all or part of the cost of new construction for the Northwood School District, with such amount to be funded from year-end undesignated fund balance or surplus available on July 1, 2018. Current balance at 12/31/17 is $101,360.77. School Board recommends this appropriation by a 5-0 vote. Budget Committee recommends the appropriation by an 11-1 vote. There is no additional tax impact if this article passes. Are there any questions? Okay. Seeing none, back to Article 2, which is the operating budget.
What about 4?
4 is not a money article.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Article 2. Shall the Northwood School District raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations voted separately, the amount set forth on the budget posted with the warrant, or as amended by vote of the first session, for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $11,830,426. Should this article be defeated, the default budget shall total $11,708,441, which is the same as last year, with certain adjustments required by previous action of the Northwood School Board or by law, or the governing body may hold one special meeting in accordance with RSA 40:13, sections 10 and 16, to take up the issue of a revised operating budget only. The operating budget warrant does not include appropriations contained in any other warrant articles. The school board does not recommend this appropriation.
What?
Yeah, yep, it does. Okay, we've got to fix that. So the school board does recommend this appropriation by a 3-2 vote. The budget committee recommends this appropriation by an 11-1 vote. Tax impact, if this article passes, is 44 cents per thousand. Tax impact, if this article does not pass, is 18 cents per thousand. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, those are the only 2 articles for the school district, so I will close the public hearing on the school's operating, proposed budgets for, bless you, for 2018-19.
The percentage on the tax?
I'm sorry?
The
tax impact.
the tax impact seems inconsistent with the amount of money. One is...
Yeah, we went through this last night. It's the difference between last year's...
Well, I know,
and the-
but one says 44, one says 18, and the difference between the two up above is $100,000.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, sorry.
I'm going on the presumption that that would be rechecked before the final posting. The dollar amounts are going to remain the same. It's simply a matter of verifying the tax impact figures. Okay.
Good point.
Okay, that's our business for this evening. We do have, at the top of your warrant, the deliberative session. You'll notice the very first paragraph. You're notified to meet at the Northwood School, 511 First New Hampshire Turnpike, Northwood, on Thursday, the 8th day of February, 2018 at 6 p.m. This session shall consist of explanation, discussion, and debate of warrant articles 2 to 4. Warrant articles may be amended subject to the following limitations. A, warrant articles whose wording is prescribed by law shall not be amended, and B, warrant articles that are amended shall be placed on the official ballot for final vote on the main motion as amended.
Did you get the town's date last night?
Wait a minute, can we back up to this? My point on this one is that the date has been changed from Monday night to Thursday night. So everybody needs to catch that, and at 6 PM. That's a change from the original one we had.
Was it
And
Monday
no, I'm sorry.
after the 8th or Monday before the 8th?
It was Monday before, on the 5th before.
Oh, it was
It's
right
now
after the
Thursday
town.
night, the 8th.
Yeah, so it's just moved out a little bit.
And see, for me, I just actually put it in my calendar today,
Down
so I
Saturday morning
realized that.
Saturday what? The 10th?
before,
The 10th or the 3rd?
3rd.
Yes, I second fourth.
9?
Yep.
Guess I should put that on my calendar.
Okay, let's see. So, reminders for our upcoming meetings on the 24th. As you stated earlier, 7 PM. That's when we're going to have the signature pages for the MS forms. Because the MS7 will be available, will have been prepared at that point. In past years, we've had a subcommittee to just review those numbers once they were all made up, just to verify that there weren't any typos or transpositions or what have you. Now they're all done and sent to DRA via electronic thing, and they're approving them before we even see them. Portal. Right, right. So there really isn't a whole lot for us to even review. Okay. And we will have the schools available so that we can sign the signature page.
It's all prepped and ready to go. I've just I'm gonna go talk to the DRE tomorrow.
Okay.
And then hopefully I can have it ready by Tuesday.
Okay, but we're not going to be meeting until, so we'll
It's
have
ready.
it, we'll have it in plenty of time.
Right, Tim?
Terrific. We'll have it in plenty of
They
time.
are pretty fast. They did ours this morning. After last night.
Oh, we got it, okay. Oh, I gotta get out my magic pen again?
Or we can hold off to the 24th. I won't read it.
No, no, we might as well do it now. That way we'll just have to town and excuse it.
So the public isn't going to get to speak?
You had the opportunity. I asked if there were any questions or comments, Tim. You didn't respond. You didn't hear me say that? Everybody else did.
Don't bump your ass on the way out.
Yeah, there's another letter for the
A
summer.
letter in the paper next week.
I have to say, I was wondering why I didn't hear him speak up.
Oh, he's not the public anyway.
Well, he had the right to be public because he was sitting
Well,
over there.
yeah, I guess.
He's just over there, it's fine.
I am not responsible, nor is anyone else on this committee, if people are not paying attention and take advantage of the opportunity to voice their concerns when the opportunity arises. Plain and simple.
Aside from this,
Yes,
is there other business?
there is no other business. Unless you'd like to make some.
No.
Wow.
Oh, careful, she's sitting next to you, so.
I do have,
Some of us do have jobs to
I do
go
have
to in the morning.
a question for the selectman who's present. To know if the warrant article last year, which raised and appropriated $64,000 for the redo of the Mary Waldron Beach and boat ramp, if that money, if that will be, that money has now, some of it's been expended, the boat ramp project seems to be frozen in place. And I'm wondering if the money's been encumbered and if that will be completed in a timely fashion when things thaw.
We're waiting on 12 planks that are being made at this time. They were supposed to have enough planks to do it, and some of them turned out to be 10-footers instead of 12-footers. So we started with 12s, and when we get to the top, we can't use 10s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we're supposed to have them within the next week or 10 days, and they will finish it as soon as they get the planks. All the digging is done, the stone is in. All they have to do is knock the stone around a little bit to level it, put the planks on. And the only other thing that I noticed that I wasn't happy with was the sand they put on the beach. They didn't put enough sand on, and they didn't sand the whole beach, but I will take care of that. Because we had a permit to do it, and now's the time to do it. If we don't do it now, once the permit expires, then if we do put some more sand on, we'll have a problem with the state.
There's a follow-on question, which was last year, I made a motion to raise the amount of money that would be designated for the
Milfoil.
milfoil prevention programs from $7,000 to $10,000. I didn't take the initiative to follow up to see how that additional $3,000 was spent. I assume
Wasn't spent, it went back into the general fund.
went back into the general fund, even though it was designated for that purpose.
As far as I know, because no one stepped forward.
No, it would have, stayed in the.
Is this a motion to adjourn?
There's a special fund for it. So it
No.
would stay in there.
If it isn't used, normally it doesn't stay in it.
No, if it goes in,
Same thing with the other one for milfoil. If
right.
it doesn't get used
It's
that
a special
year.
fund.
Stays in.
Then it's still there then.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's,
So
So
I
you
don't
get
have to.
3,000 more than you
so
thought you had.
theoretically, I don't have to add another $3,000 into this year's $7,000 appropriation as an incentive to the people who live on that lake to initiate a lake host program.
Right. If you do, we'll have some extra for the next year. If you request 3,000 this year,
It rolls over again.
we would have a spare $3,000.
No, it's not.
That's not right?
No, I said, I'm just stating my opinion that we should not raise it.
okay. Do we have any other business?
They have the money thing.
I don't have anything else for us.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I'm sorry?
I don't know what to say.
No, I think they all want to go. Do we have a motion?
Yes, and I second
I
it.
made it.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Betsy made it.
No, I'm voting.
We're not there at the vote yet. I'm making sure she has the names.
Because if you build them
Dave seconded.
better and easier to access, more people.
Okay, folks, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I'd like to abstain.
Then we'll see you all on the 24th.